This creature was spotted by a team of researchers in a forest in Texas, but as they got closer, they were completely terrified by what they discovered and immediately called the police. During an expedition in a remote part of the forest, the group was busy collecting samples when, suddenly, they saw something moving in the distance. It was a tall, black figure with long, disproportionate legs. They couldn't identify what it was, but its presence caused discomfort. Curious, the researchers followed the creature from a distance, recording everything. The closer they got, the stronger the feeling that something was wrong grew. The creature suddenly stopped and slowly turned its face, revealing disturbing features that left the group frozen in fear. Without warning, it disappeared into the forest. Terrified, the team decided to call the police. But what the officers discovered when investigating the site was far more terrifying than anything the researchers could have imagined. Want to know what they found? Click the plus and comment "Strange Creature" for part 2. This creature appeared on this woman's bed, and when she discovered what it really was, she was completely terrified and called the police immediately. Clara, a 38-year-old woman, was home alone when something strange happened. It was late at night and she was almost asleep when she felt a strange weight beside her on the bed. At first, she thought it was just her imagination, but the weight remained, motionless. Curious and with her heart racing, she slowly got up and grabbed a flashlight. With trembling hands, she turned on the light and pointed it at the bed. And then she saw it. A bizarre creature with a pale, human-like face and a long, dark tail was lying next to her, as if it had been watching her the whole time. Clara froze in fear, unable to move, as the creature stared at her with a chilling gaze. She tried to stay calm, but something about that face seemed strangely familiar, something she couldn't explain. When she realized the truth behind the creature, she was horrified, and without hesitation called the police immediately. What the officers discovered when they arrived left everyone at the scene even more disturbed. Want to know what they found? Click more and comment "Creature" for part 2. This woman found a strange dog in her backyard, but when she discovered where it really came from, she was terrified and called the police immediately. Alice, a 21-year-old woman, started hearing strange noises coming from the yard at night. Curious and a bit scared, she went to investigate. When she turned on her flashlight, she saw an animal standing in the darkness. At first glance, it looked like a dog, but something was off. The dog had an unusual appearance. Its skin seemed to glow with tiny scales that reflected the light, almost like a lizard. Intrigued, Alice decided to let it stay, thinking it might be lost. In the first few days, the animal followed her around the house, but its behavior only grew more mysterious. Determined to learn more about this creature, Alice researched animals in the area. What she discovered was so terrifying that she called the police immediately. Want to know what Alice found? Follow me and comment "Dog" for part 2.
She was home alone when she heard this. This woman was home alone with her cats when she heard her own voice calling her from right outside her room.
Swear there's someone outside my room. Wait. What do I do?
Ever since then, it's only gotten creepier.
I do live alone, not counting my cats. And I haven't heard it that clearly since that day, but I do hear a lot of other things. Like, I often hear my cats meowing in different rooms when both of them are next to me. Or I hear someone calling my cats from other rooms. I'm saying someone as if it's, I don't know, like it's a very specific sound that I've trained my cats to respond to. Here, well, I'll show you what the sound is. I will hear that sound coming from another room in the house, and the cats will respond and run away. And I know, like, it's not me. I live alone.
It actually happened. confirmed in the Oversight Committee airing a live stream that was broadcasted all over the world. Aliens are from our oceans. The 4 witnesses, which included a retired Navy commander, a Rear Admiral, confirmed to the Oversight Committee of Congress that they are real. We have UAP materials and bioorganic materials, not just America, but every other country behind closed doors is doing a secret advanced race, trying to reverse engineer all the technology that they found in order to try and recreate this advanced technology for the future. They said they're from our oceans. We have 4K video evidence of them appearing from the ocean out of Kuwait, out of Africa, the East Coast, the West Coast, Mexico, every continent on this planet has UAP video evidence, all from our oceans. They say it's not human. It is an intelligent, artificial, or bioorganic, but it's some type of intelligence that is millions of years ahead of us humans. And they've been here longer than us. What happens if we are able to create this advanced equipment? Will it be good or bad for the world? Let me know in the comments, and to see the equipment found, press on share and then more.
The Leviathan is set to return in 2025, and all the evidence is about to be shown to you. Many strange things involving the ocean has been happening recently, including the amount of extremely unique sea creatures that have been getting captured, along with the amount of animals that have been beaching themselves and swimming to shore as if they are afraid of something that is deep in the ocean. Other creatures that were thought to be extinct, such as the Kraken, have been reportedly causing planes and boats to disappear in specific areas of the ocean, making us realize that we have such limited knowledge of what is hiding in our oceans, and there must be a reason that people are too afraid to do further research into our oceans. The reason 2025 is the year that the Leviathan is said to return is due to hints and clues that have been revealed in ancient texts that I am not able to reveal here on TikTok, as well as the moon expected to get closer to the Earth, meaning that its gravitational pull will increase and get stronger, resulting in the creatures at the bottom of our oceans getting forced out of the depths. The Leviathan returning is truly horrifying for humanity, as it is going to want to finish what it was created to do, to destroy the world and try to defeat God. Save this video to come back to in 2025, and if you want to see what the ancient texts hinted about the Leviathan's return, then just press on share, then on more, and comment Leviathan.
The ghosts of Titanic haunt the deep, bound to the ship's remains. Once they were passengers of hope and promise. Now, they are shadows of the past.
The Navy pulled this plane out of the sea, and their faces fell when they saw what was inside. Jack had just joined the Navy and was given his first important task: retrieving a plane from the sea. They quickly reached their destination and located the aircraft. Their ship had a crane, which they needed to use to lift the plane out of the water, but they had to be careful. Their goal was to get the plane out intact without breaking or damaging it. So Jack and his team grabbed the connecting chains and secured them to the crane. As the operator slowly lifted the plane out of the water and gently placed it on the platform, they heard a loud noise. An emergency exit door popped open. Jack and his colleagues exchanged startled looks. They decided to enter the plane to investigate. As Jack circled around the back of the aircraft, he caught sight of what was inside. He blinked several times to make sure he wasn't imagining it, but it didn't disappear. His face went pale. What exactly did Jack see? Comment plane for part 2.
আল্লাহ আল্লাহ ভাই ভাই ওই দেখ ভাই কি লোক ভাই আল্লাহ 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 ও মাই গড ওরে আল্লাহ আল্লাহ ভাই ভাই এ তো ভয়ানক আত্মা ভাই আত্মা রিয়েল সত্যি
When we think of a UFO crash, our minds often race to the desert landscapes of Roswell, New Mexico. The year 1947 is etched in our collective memory. But what if I told you about a lesser-known event, a full 50 years earlier, that unfolded right here in the heart of Texas? The year was 1897. The small town of Aurora became the site of an alleged encounter with the unknown. It's a story that's been passed down through generations, a tale of a crashed airship and a mysterious pilot who was, according to reports, not an inhabitant of this world. Could this be true? Could a sleepy Texas town hold the key to unlocking one of history's biggest mysteries? Imagine the scene. It's the pre-dawn hours of April 17, 1897. The residents of Aurora, Texas are going about their daily routines. Suddenly, a strange object appears in the sky, a cigar-shaped craft moving slowly. This wasn't a bird, and it wasn't the planet Venus. This was something entirely different. According to an article, the object collided with a windmill on Judge J.S. Proctor's property. The impact scattered debris over a wide area. The pilot, sadly, did not survive. The description of the pilot sent shockwaves through the community. The Dallas Morning News reported that the body was badly disfigured and was not of earthly origins. Reportedly, wreckage from the crash site was dumped into a nearby well located under the damaged windmill, while some ended up with the alien in the grave. Adding to the enigma was the story of Mr. Brawley Oates, who purchased Judge Proctor's property around 1935. Oates cleaned out the debris from the well in order to use it as a water source, but later developed an extremely rare type of arthritis, which he claimed to be the result of contaminated water from the wreckage dumped into the well. As a result, in 1945, Oates sealed up the well with a concrete slab and placed an outbuilding atop the slab. This part of the story adds another layer of intrigue. What was in that well? Could it really have been the source of Oates's mysterious illness? The contaminated well is a chilling reminder of the potential hazards that come with unknown encounters. To this day, the well remains sealed, a silent guardian of whatever secrets it might hold beneath its concrete cover. Was it simply old debris and water, or something far more alien? The truth remains buried, much like the well itself. The story of the Aurora crash, like many tales of the unknown, could have easily faded into obscurity. But something about this event, something about the details, resonated with people. Decades later, in the 1970s, a young reporter named Jim Mars, known for his work on the JFK assassination, stumbled upon the story. Intrigued, Mars traveled to Aurora, determined to separate fact from fiction. He spoke to elderly residents, those who had been children at the time of the crash. One man, Charlie C. Stevens, reluctantly shared his childhood memory of that fateful day. He described seeing the airship with his father, hearing the explosion, and witnessing the fire in the northern sky. His account added a first-hand eyewitness account possibly verifying this event. Mars also visited the Aurora Cemetery, where the pilot was said to have been buried. He found a small, unmarked grave. Was this the final resting place of the mysterious visitor from the stars? A Texas Historical Commission marker outside the Aurora Cemetery mentions the incident. They said the alien visitor was buried with Christian rites at the nearby Aurora Cemetery. A headstone later marked the grave, bearing a symbol that resembled a flying saucer. That headstone later disappeared, lost in time. The Aurora UFO crash continues to fascinate and divide researchers and enthusiasts. Some dismiss it as a hoax, a tall tale spun by imaginative residents. Others point to eyewitness accounts, the newspaper article, and strange debris as evidence. The incident has become part of Aurora's identity. It is a Texas-sized mystery. There are those still searching for the truth. Or perhaps, is the unknown better left unknown?
still don't know what creature caused the recent massacre in this massive cave. In Uzbekistan, there's a cave over a mile deep. First discovered and explored in 1960, no one has set foot in it since. Very few people know, but during the first expedition, 27 people went missing. However, 2 months ago, a team of archaeologists was formed to descend into this cave and find out what happened back in 1960. It took several days for the team to reach the bottom of the mile-deep cave, but once there, they discovered traces of an ancient civilization through old statues and everyday objects. But the archaeologists were there to find remnants of the first expedition that had ended in a massacre. That's when they uncovered the horrible secret of this cave. Taking a slightly deeper passage, they came face to face with a giant wolf that was hibernating there, and it massacred them one by one. After 2 weeks with no news, the expedition's leaders sent a rescue team for the archaeologists, but it was already too late. Once there, the rescuers found only the archaeologists' equipment, with all their mounted cameras that had recorded what happened. The footage from the cameras is extremely disturbing. I advise against watching it, but if you still want to see it, click here, then on more and on your browser. The most mysterious creature on this earth has just been discovered, and it doesn't look at all like what scientists thought. For several years, Danny, a man passionate about the oceans, has been delving into the mystery of the bloop. In 1997, he recorded the most mysterious sound of the oceans. This sound was so powerful that, according to scientists, it belonged to a giant creature we hadn't discovered yet. When Danny heard this story for the first time, he promised himself he would discover this creature on his own. As usual, he spent his weekends diving solo to advance his research. Danny jumped into the water and dove down to about 1,300 feet deep. There, he began to swim, and every 5 minutes, he spotted big fish. After an hour, his oxygen was starting to run out, so he began to ascend to the surface when suddenly, a huge silhouette slowly emerged from the depths. A gigantic creature resembling a whale, about 650 feet long. Danny was super happy. He had just fulfilled his promise and was going to prove his discovery thanks to the videos he had just filmed. He then returned aboard his boat, but at the same time, the bloop surfaced and destroyed Danny's boat. When the Coast Guard arrived, they found no trace of the vessel or Danny. It's said that the bloop swallowed the boat. However, the footage from his camera, saved on the cloud, was made public this morning. If you want to see this creature, click here, then on more and on your browser.
Would you be brave enough to dine in somewhere Jason Voorhees may lurk at? The Blairstown Diner in New Jersey is a must-see for horror fans. It's featured in the original Friday the 13th. Its retro vibes and eerie history make it a chilling spot for a meal. Would you dare to stop by?
This is the true story of the Skinwalkers. Skinwalkers are warlocks with the ability to shapeshift and become animals or people. They can not only take your appearance but also clone your voice perfectly. The biggest Skinwalker sightings have been in Ohio and Arizona, but they are found all over the world. The preferred form of Skinwalkers is that of your pet. They take the form of your pet and enter your home and try to act like your pet to gain your trust, and then they can take your life. Watch how in this video the boy realizes that his dog is a Skinwalker.
Let me see. I'll know if she's my dog. Merlin, sit. Turn around. Turn around. Lay down. You're not my dog. My dog don't know how to do no fucking trick. The fuck? Call 911. Hey! Somebody!
Finally, NASA has confirmed it, and we may be early to a moment in history that will never be forgotten. Around 45 minutes ago, NASA revealed sightings in the ocean that cannot be explained. An object moving at the speed of light under the water was captured by their submarine radar. They aren't sure whether it was a creature or an object, but it was certainly something that isn't from this planet. The submarine radar captured whatever this was, traveling at speeds of a minimum of 10,000 miles an hour before the radar, then experienced a signal error, meaning it could be close to the speed of light. Nothing on our planet is capable of reaching that speed, and if it is an object, then the technology that is being used is light years ahead of our technology. NASA believed that whatever this was not meant to make their location aware, as it headed down to the depths of the ocean, which isn't possible for us to visit due to the extreme pressure and lack of oxygen. It represents the exact characteristics of space, which makes NASA believe that we could have aliens living in our oceans and making trips to space, potentially where their home planet is and coming back to the oceans in just minutes due to the speed that they are traveling at. To see the official NASA statement, just press on share and then more and comment NASA.
The 5 most powerful creatures in the Bible. Number 3, Behemoth. Behemoth is one of the most impressive creatures mentioned in the Bible. It is a colossal beast, symbolizing the raw strength and indomitable power of nature. Its description evokes an animal with a massive body, powerful muscles, and incomparable strength. It is said that its bones are like tubes of bronze, and its limbs are like bars of iron. Behemoth eats grass like an ox, but its size and power far exceed anything humanity has ever known. No human could hope to tame or defeat Behemoth. Its strength is such that no weapon can affect it, and its temperament is as unchanging as the mountains it inhabits. Approaching it would be like trying to move a mountain with your bare hands, an impossible task that would only lead to destruction. Behemoth represents the unshakable power of divine creation, reminding us that some forces are beyond human understanding. Its presence is a living testimony to divine majesty, leaving humanity awestruck and humble before such power. If you're still here, leave an amen and try to guess which creature could be even more powerful than Behemoth.
In the heart of the town stood an old stone church, abandoned for decades. Its bell tower loomed over the snow-covered streets, a ghostly reminder of the past. On the night of December 12th, as the snow fell softly, the town slept peacefully. At exactly 12:01 a.m., the first toll echoed. It was low, mournful, and impossibly loud. Lights flickered on in the nearby homes, but no one dared investigate. By morning, the snow around the church was untouched, pristine, yet footprints appeared leading into the building. As the day passed, the bell continued to ring every hour. The sound grew sharper, each chime accompanied by a metallic screech. The mayor called for an inspection, but no one was brave enough to enter the church. By dusk, the bell rang 13 times, louder than ever, and the sound seemed to seep into the bones of anyone nearby. The townsfolk, scared but compelled, gathered in the square as the sun set. Shadows stretched unnaturally long, creeping like claws toward the church. Finally, they decided to investigate as a group. At midnight, the final toll reverberated, and the church doors creaked open. A gust of icy wind spilled out, carrying whispers that made the bravest flee. The townspeople tried to enter, but could not see due to the high wind and snow. Friends and family members were getting separated and blindly pushed around. When morning arrived, the town was silent. Snow buried the footprints of those who entered, and the church stood as it always had, silent and still. Only 13 people remained unaccounted for, their homes empty, and their names forever etched in the frost on the bell.
Aliens have been discovered. An exploration team recently uncovered unidentified crafts and mysterious creatures at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. What secrets are they guarding?
I bet you didn't know the scariest legend in Texas involves a woman turned monster. Let's meet the Donkey Lady. Long ago, a kind-hearted woman lived peacefully near Mission, Texas, until a greedy landowner set her home ablaze. She survived, but her face was scarred, her hands twisted into hooves, and her family gone. Consumed by rage and sorrow, she vanished into the brushlands. Soon, locals reported eerie cries, a blend of a woman's wail and a donkey's bray. They saw a disfigured figure lurking in the shadows. Drivers on remote roads encountered a hunched figure with hollow, glowing eyes. She'd scream and vanish into the night. Near bridges, her mournful cries echoed, especially on moonless nights. Some brave souls claim she charged their cars, leaving hoof-like dents. The Donkey Lady is a ghost story and a cautionary tale. Disrespect nature or venture too far, and you may meet her wrath. So, if you're driving through Mission, Texas, and see a figure on the road, speed up, drive away, and don't look back. The Donkey Lady might just be watching.
The signs of black magic. The signs that prove that you are affected by black magic. Before I tell you, for the love of Allah, please share this video. Copy the link of this video several times so that it can help other people. People who may be affected by black magic. It can help them. Please share this video a lot, if you are a Muslim. 1. Blocking in life. You can't get a job. Your money is wasted. You can't get married. You can't have children, etc. 2. Unusual health problems. You are sick, you have stomach aches, a strange feeling in your body, pain in the feet, legs, knees, extreme headaches, heavy shoulders. 3. Unusual mental state, extreme anger, becoming uselessly sad, depression, fears, anxiety, phobia. Can't concentrate, forget things, get confused, hear voices, see things. 4. Bad dreams and fatigue, nightmares and dreams. Always feel tired. Don't feel happiness. Don't be interested in things. Think about death. Terrifying dreams. Now,
These are the real-life Powerpuff Girls, and their story is purely horrifying. In 1958, deep in an isolated lab in Nevada, the U.S. government launched Operation Bluesome, spearheaded by a peculiar scientist named Clyde Pickle. The program aimed to create human weapons using DNA modification. Dr. Pickle's experiments resulted in 3 genetically engineered girls: Emily, with superhuman strength; Rose, who could control machines with a single thought; and June, whose ability to manipulate minds was something even the scientists underestimated. To keep the girls in check, they were forced to wear collars that suppressed their powers. But the experiments grew darker. Painful tests, isolation, and endless drills. They were treated as tools, not children. One day, June secretly used her mind control on Dr. Pickle during an experiment. He unknowingly left the remote that controlled their collars under the table, thinking it was just his idea. Later that night, the girls retrieved it. With their collars deactivated, chaos followed. Emily smashed through walls with her strength. Rose disabled the lab's alarms and locked the doors. And June, calm and calculating, used her powers to freeze guards in fear. The 3 escaped into the desert, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Despite an intense manhunt, they were never found. Decades later, declassified files hinted at sightings of 3 mysterious women near military sites. Their existence erased from history, but the question remains: where are they now?